Hey everyone, it's a bit windy, so hopefully you can hear me okay. We've just harvested 3 of the sweet potato beds. So these 3 beds, we've still got 1 more to go, and around the front of the house we also had some sweet potato in which we've taken out a small section of that as well. Probably about, I don't know, maybe 3 meters long. We didn't really dig through that much because it hadn't been in that long, but we pulled out the major roots that we could see, and we sort of left the rest. We thought they'll grow up again next year after the frost this winter. But I just wanted to show you, these beds are beautifully broken up now because of all the deep roots that have been in them. We're going to revitalise these with some minerals, some crushed rock dust granules to put the minerals back, and then we're also going to dig through some manure, some goat manure, and a whole lot of mulch. And there's quite a few worms in there, but with that mulch they'll sort of build up again as well. So all of the really small roots that we pulled out that were sort of attached to things we've kept, and we're actually going to use these to start new plants again next year. So we'll probably put those, either store them in sand, a bucket of sand, I'm really not too sure, a bucket of wet sand maybe, or possibly just keep them dry and cool, or the other option is that we actually put them back in the ground and cover them with mulch, and hopefully they'll regrow again next year. So we've got probably, I don't know, maybe 5 kilos, yeah, probably about 4 or 5 kilos of new runners or roots for next year. Then over here, this is the mother load. We've got a basket of sort of seconds, you know, smaller ones or broken ones which we're keeping for ourselves. You know, ones that I chopped with a spade when I was digging them up and that type of thing. And we've sorted all the sort of seconds into there, any ones that are split and what have you. And then we've got 2 big buckets, barrels at the back. So all up, this is about 40 kilograms of sweet potato, and then the 4 or 5 kilos of runners over there for next year's crop. Really happy with that. I think it's pretty good, and it's certainly a testament to the fact that these wicking barrels work really well. Some of these sweet potatoes are really good size. There's actually some in there that are probably about twice that size. They're sort of, you know, really quite round. You can only sort of get your hand halfway around. So the rest of the garden beds are going really well. So our herb bed, we've cut back the rosemary and a few other plants there for winter. We're about to harvest the Jerusalem artichokes, which I'll show in another video. The asparagus has gone crazy, so we're actually going to cut that back once it dies back after the frost, and next year we will actually be able to take our first harvest off that, which I'm pretty excited about. We've still got this bed to harvest, that's sweet potato. The reason we didn't dig that up today is we've actually got a tomato plant which self-seeded in amongst the sweet potato, and you can see it down here, and there's still plenty of tomatoes on there. So we will we'll harvest the tomatoes once they ripen up. Hopefully they ripen before the frost hits in about a week's time, but we'll see how we go. Over here we've got the garlics coming up. I've got some wormwood that I've planted here for the goats. There's some beans that you can see just popping up over the back there. We're going to grow those up over these hoops. In here we've got carrots, which are just coming up, which is fantastic. So there's a bed, there's 3 rows of carrots. We actually use seed tape to plant those. In here we have got a couple of different sorts of onion. On this side we have got walla walla, which are just starting to come up there, those little fine grassy things. And over here we've got cream golds, which I think I saw coming up too. I can't quite see them in this light, but I think they're just starting to pop up too. Over here we've got some beans and peas, which we planted a couple a while back, and then we've put some more seeds in, so the dogs decided to jump on the bed and have a bit of a field day, so we lost a few plants, but we've reseeded them and they're coming up now beautifully. And amongst all of these we've also got marigolds, just to you can see this one here is starting to flower, which is great. So we've just thrown a lot of marigold seeds in there to try and get a bit of bug control happening. In here we've got broccoli coming up. You can see those coming through there, more marigolds. And on here we've got purple sprouting broccoli, which are coming up. These are the Mexican walking onions. Some more beans. We've put those in the corner again so that they can grow up. These we can trail them around the edge. In here we've got beetroot, which are coming up beautifully. You can see those there coming through. And we've got Madagascar beans in here, thanks to Rob Bob. Thank you for those seeds some time ago. I think it was probably about a year and a half or 2 years ago you gave me those, but finally we got them in the ground and they are coming up beautifully, so thank you very much. Again, we'll probably put some trellis up over here and grow them all over there. I know there's a lot in here, but we figured we should probably get those seeds in the ground and maybe save the seeds from those next time. Otherwise they're probably going to go unviable. Over here we've got the silver beet, which is fantastic, rainbow chard, and that's starting to come along. There's some plants here, and then there's also a few seedlings coming up, a couple of different plantings we've had. In the back here, this is going really well. Down this side, these two rows, we've got cauliflower, and they're looking really healthy. We just sprinkled the seed in through the mulch and they've come up. Hasn't quite come up yet, but there's actually Brussels sprouts along the back there. We might have a couple of little ones in that corner poking their heads through. In here we've got snake beans. I think that's also thanks to Rob Bob, if my memory serves me right. And through here we've got Bok Choy, which is all coming up, and that's right through this whole bed, and they're looking beautiful and healthy as well, poking their heads up. There's Millie come to say hello. And then in here we've got more peas. Can't quite remember what else we put in here. There's some other things, I think. There are some peas, but might be a few marigolds and a few other things. But they are looking really healthy. The little ones popping through beautifully. So, excellent. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you that quick update. Thanks.